Shed talk, shack chat, no go nice. I said shed talk, shack chat, no go nice. I said shed talk, shack chat, no go nice. I said shed talk, shack chat, no go nice.
Feels so good. Die-hard fans will understand just how important this clip is. A real big accomplishment. So pumped. So pumped.
Hi, my name is Miss Sally Mae, and I quit drinking alcohol by smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee. I'm 33 years old. I've been drinking for about 30 years. My friend said, Sally, you got a bit of a problem, girl. You got to quit. And I said, do I? Well, hell, I'll do anything once. So I gave it the old high school try. Went and bought about 10 cartons of Cools in one of them Keurig coffee maker machines. Brought it home. And so what I do is, I look up at the freezer every time I want to drink because I know there's that big old bottle of vodka in there. But instead what I do is, I grab a cigarette, I light it up, sit at my table, and I just sip and smoke. And sip and smoke. And sip and smoke. And the next time I want to drink, I look up there, I grab a cigarette, and I sit and I smoke. And I sit and I smoke. I go through this little routine maybe like 45, 50 times a day, and I ain't slept for 2 weeks. Well, you know what? I ain't had a drink either. So I bet at this point you're thinking, can I do this too? And hell yeah, you can. Alright, first thing you're going to do, if you don't smoke, start. If you do smoke, I want you to double down on whatever you're smoking, okay? And if you drink coffee, I want you to quadruple at least what you've been drinking. Alright? I want you to drink a cup of coffee at least every single time you want a cup of something else, if you know what I mean. And before you know it, it could be, and then nobody could tell you, but it comes to, and 4 times, and then I think that, well, I guess that nobody ever, it works. It works.
Didgeridoo, more like didgeridoo. Okay, so welcome everybody to episode 8, the final episode of SHEDTALKSHACKCHAT Noble Nights. It is 1:53 in the morning on Sunday, December 24th. So it is officially Christmas Eve in some ways. And the last 2 nights I have spent disassembling these giant racks, which we kept, I have to say in the past tense, kept the racks, the trees on. And so it's pretty much a barren landscape out here. I would show you, but honestly, it's just a little bit depressing. But I can show you a little the reindeers are just happily sitting on a tote. You can see that there's almost nothing behind them. And so we do a little reflection today. Probably this episode is not going to be super long. I have too much to say. We'll put in some footage from some past events, music recommendations, and a song. So yeah, I'm just sort of been thinking like, well, what do we learn here? What's been going on here with this experience? And I have mostly really enjoyed it. For just to say that first and foremost, I liked being up all night. That's a new experience for me. I liked watching everything go down, and having a little bit of a commute and just sort of living in this city. We live up in Harlem, and that's fun and a lot to look at. And my favorite part I think has been just sort of having a feeling of us being in this community. There's a fair amount of people that come by every day or walk by and just are so generous with their time and energy and gifts, and it's calling me by name.
Anyway, your name is?
That's just a really wonderful feeling. And this, our stand really takes up like pretty good chunk of real estate here, and one almost has to navigate themselves through it in order to get wherever they're going. And but it really seems like instead of that being an inconvenience, that people really love the fact that we're here, and have been. Our dear neighbor Nancy just scrawled in sidewalk chalk, "We're missing you already." So yeah, it feels really cool to be here, and I'm definitely gonna miss it. So that's the biggest thing, and I don't take it for granted at all, but the generosity of the people here has just been like ridiculous. There's a couple from down the street, Kathleen and Doug, came by tonight for the. Have come by a couple times and just sat down and had some wine with me and chatted and whatever. I see them, at least one of them, almost every day. So we have an embarrassment of wine right now. In the last 24 hours, I've been given 3 bottles of wine, and I don't know. I'm not gonna like sit in here and just crush bottles of wine. It's not that great. For me, probably would feel not so good, and also real sleepy, and that's not so good. Also, someone brought me this gigantic cup of coffee, which was really kind and generous. It's enough for about 3 days for me, or nights. There's a full meal here that my friend Steve sent, which is just incredible, and it's also really delicious. So thank you everyone so much for being so welcoming and generous, and just really making us feel like we belong here. It's well, I won't speak for my day man, but I'm speaking for me, for sure. And man, yeah, so that's been the main thing. And just treating this, I haven't been able to do as much of the show over the last week or so as I would like to have, but that's okay. It just has been real busy with winding things down here, and doing a little bit of touristy stuff. Well, a very little bit. I walked down the park to where the John Lennon Memorial is, and I also went down with one of the other night watch people, Katie, to walk around downtown yesterday, and that was totally bonkers. We went to like Rockefeller Center with the tree and the ice skating rink and Times Square and that crap, and it was a little bit much after a long shift. Being up all night, it was a little bit sensory overload, so just walked around there for a little bit, and I jokingly said to her when we got on the subway to go back up to the apartment, I said, "Do you think there's a beverage service on this train? We're on the subway." She was like, "What?" Just rolled her eyes, and she's like, "I'll give you $1 if you ask that family across from us the same thing." And right, we have these like ragtaggy clothes because we're doing tree stuff. I have like this weird, Robin Hood outfit kind of thing that I wear, my sleeveless cut-off sweater, and whatnot, and when, like, our filthy pants because they're all covered in tree sap and whatnot, and it's right when we came in, there was these 2 sisters and their parents, and you could see them kind of like whispering. So I leaned over and goes, "Hey, do you guys know if there's a drink service on this train?" And they just went, "No." And then a minute later, the woman, the mother, leans over and goes, but just kind of like, they looked at each other and like, "At least I don't think there is." And yeah, so that was they were not from New York, and I think that hilariously enough, we might have given them a moment of pause, which is, I don't know, it's funny to me. Anyways, yeah, so thank you all for being here. Major successes for me is that I've had a few people be really grateful for the show, both people like other people on the job, and just some other community members, and so that makes me just really feel good about sharing it. I hope that more, well, I don't know, my favorite part is getting other people involved and like having guests, like when Erica was here, and I'm gonna put a bunch of pictures of all the people that came visit the stand, at least the ones that I have pictures of. You know, my friend Yasi came, my friend Eric came. I haven't seen him for a decade. And Yasi I've known for a long time over the internet but never met in person. I saw my old friend Courtney, haven't seen for a few years. Gosh, whoever I'm forgetting, I feel so sorry. Two Courtneys, two separate friends named Courtney that came, and I made a few new friends. My friend Andrew was here last night. He actually helped. We had 5 deliveries unexpectedly, and he helped do deliveries, which was really super helpful. Okay, I'm gonna but anyway, so just thank you so much, everyone. I hope it's been something for you. If you have any I'm sort of treating this, because it's such a like cut and dry sort of bookended experience. I'm sort of treating it as a experiment. Try out some different things. Put them towards some projects that I'm hoping to realize in the future. So just sort of playing with some different themes and different modes of operating, and getting people involved, like sending in stories and reflections and stuff like that. Really super great. That's what I really want to do big time. I mean, it's one of my favorite things in life is to evoke or inspire people to share their stories, because I think stories are just the most potent way to communicate. And I know a big part of my life is listening to and watching and absorbing, reading stories, and I'm so grateful for all those people who decided to share them. So I'm trying to do some of that myself, and also trying to create spaces for others to do. So I hope that came through on the show, and that maybe you got some good music to listen to, or found something new to, I don't know, explore. There's so much I could do, hour-long episodes easily, but if I didn't also have a job to do, and that'd be fun. I have a lot of fun putting the show together, but the editing and stuff takes a long time, even though I love it, and so I just haven't, I can't spend as much time as I would love to. But okay, that's my blah blah blah. Thank you again, a million times over, for being here and being part of this, and my love to you, and see what comes next. Good luck out there. This is my friend Lindsay, who ran this stand as the day manager last year, and came to visit a couple times and also help us set up and stuff, and was a big super help in both recruiting me for the job and just giving guidance along the way. So humongous gratitude. Thank you a million times over, Lindsay. And it was also really nice to have you here as a visitor.
Take away.
Okay, I wanted to teach you guys a little exercise. So basically you're going to put your arms out like this. My friend Emily made this up some years ago, and it's kind of fun to do. So you put your arms out like this. It's kind of hard to do in this small space, and then you just go like that a whole bunch of times, however many you want, and that works like these side muscles, which I believe are called obliques maybe, and all the people on the street are telling me that obliques are the new glutes, so you're gonna really want those things bumping. And on a side note, I'm noticing as I'm stroking my noticeably distended belly here that I have definitely gained some weight during this experience, which was one of my goals, and has been a lot of work in a way. So that was a big challenge, and I haven't found a scale yet, but my proprioceptive faculties are definitely telling me that this is a little bit smaller, a larger gap that I have to look out for if I'm going to go through a tight doorway or something. Anyway, so that's kind of fun for me at the moment.
Quick update on that sitch. This is a picture from the official weigh-in scale, I started at 160 pounds, and as you can see, 172.2. So succeeded in the 10 pounds gained mission. Thank you, everyone. Very proud of this accomplishment. Very grateful to be able to eat a lot of food. I don't take that for granted and realize it's a huge blessing. And so anyways, thanks.
Yeah, so do Emily's, you know. I call them Emily's now because she invented them as far as I know. And if you want to, there's another invitation for you. Bye.
The point of this clip is that there's this guy that walks by every day with like 7 or 8 dogs on leashes, and it's so awesome. I couldn't get a good video because my stupid phone was always taking forever to get into camera mode, which is turning into some sort of Apple conspiracy. I'm seeing they slowed it down to preserve battery life or some jive. Anyways, speaking of dogs, this is kind of exciting and community stuff. There is a friendly dog named Merle who was able to actually watch and review a couple of past episodes. So thought I would show the videos that Merle sent along of their reviews of the past episodes. So I'll show those now. You can decide for yourself how what type of reviews they are.
Done making little reindeers and snowmen. What you can do is you can just put them in a little satchel like this, and then tie it up. And you got yourself a air freshener. Smells like balsam every day.
And so yeah, it's been really nice trying to. And I got these reindeer, which are not of my design. They're from a couple of years ago, I guess. And the guy asked me if I could Hello, friends. I'm no longer in the shed. I'm actually in Vermont right now. But I wanted to mention that the entire time I was in New York, because I had learned that he lived in the neighborhood and had bought a tree at the stand last year, I was looking for Kevin Bacon. I pretty much walked around with like Bacon vision, just like scanning faces. When I went to the park, when I went to the street, when I went on deliveries, when I was sitting in the shed, when I was a kid, thanks to seeing Tremors and The River Wild, he was my favorite actor. And so of the available celebrities, I was pretty pumped. My friend Kathleen had met him walking the dog a couple times and said that he's always singing to himself, and had been friendly. And my friend Lindsay sold a tree to him last year, and in the weirdest twist of whatever, my day man is the one person in the universe who doesn't know who Kevin Bacon is at all. And so it's totally possible that he came to the stand during the day and never knew. But I don't think so. I don't think he was in town. That's my theory anyways. So if you see Kevin, please just tell him, swing by, drop me a line, the show email and stuff. Anyways, thanks. Also, I don't think I said this in my long rant there, but please, definitely open to feedback, so please write me an email in the show email and let me know anything, if you found anything particularly anything. I'm not fill in the blank as far as adjectives go. Interesting, terrible, fun, boring. I'm interested to know your perception of it, and we'll see what can apply towards future projects. So yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff on these shows, a lot of things that I definitely there's a lot of like loose ends kind of thing. And it's partially on purpose, partially because I just wasn't able to keep up with all of it. But so yeah, little segments and stuff. Let me know what was fun, what was good, what was might you know in your perception need work or whatever. And I really appreciate any and all feedback or suggestions and stuff like that. And so cheers. This is a view of New York City from the 20th floor of an apartment building on Central Park West that I thought was pretty cool, and I felt really honored to be able to experience. And the person was super, super nice and let me come back to their apartment to see it with my camera because I had forgotten it the first time. So thank you so much to that person. I must have got lost somewhere down the line. I must have got lost. I must have got lost. Give away the day you're mine. This is a poem I wrote about a experience that I have in this city. It doesn't have a title yet. It happens that you lay eyes on the most beautiful woman you have ever seen, the most beautiful girl in the world. She is almost everywhere in this city. She stands opposite you on the subway platform, or walks by with her friends, or sells vegetables from 3 states away at the farmer's market. She turns her head to look back at you, or never sees you at all. Your system swirls into fantasy, a life together, a rapturous night. You want to take a picture, have a memory somehow more tangible than the fading snapshot in your mind, and the echo of a flutter in your heart. This time you stay silent, lips pursed or slightly agape. The hand that yearns to wave stays in the pocket of your coat, and she walks on, or hails a cab, and her train pulls away, and you sigh and bite your lip. And then you take a breath and move on again, resolved to find her anew. She is almost everywhere in this city, like the rest of us, a perfect, unique, special snowflake, and utterly replaceable.
Love can be a sweet thing. I just don't understand. I made a game of loving you, and now I hold the losing hand. So I must have got lost. I must have got lost. I must have got lost somewhere down the line. I must have got lost. I must have got lost. Give away the day that you were mine.
Okay, I wanted to talk about 2 other albums of music to go along with Valerie June, which we talked about in episode 5 or 6. I don't know. So the 2 other ones I was talking about are the album Are We There? But with no question mark by Sharon Van Etten, and My Woman by Angel Olsen. And I'm doing these together, A, because I don't want episode 7 to end up being super long, and B, because I see them as sort of parallels in a way. I don't know either of their back catalogs super duper duper well. I've heard an album or 2 of both theirs, but they have more than that. And I saw Angel Olsen live just in like a church with a electric guitar, just sort of doing low-key songs, and it was great. But I don't know, I get this sense like both these albums are damn near perfect in my estimation, and it just kind of feels like the album that they were meant to make or something. And that's a bold statement. I don't know. I don't have any way to substantiate that, but I've been listening to both of them so much, and they're so amazing. And so I highly encourage checking both those out. I mean, if you can listen to Sharon Van Etten and not fall in love with her, I'd be really impressed. Yeah, so those are my 2 recommendations. Love to hear what you think. Is My Woman, it's all capitals, by Angel Olsen, and Are We There by Sharon Van Etten. And so check those out if you want some potentially new music to listen to by some two really awesome musicians. Okay.
Josie's on a vacation far away. Come on and talk it over. So many things that I'd like to say. You know I like my girls a little bit older. I just wanna use your love tonight. Ooh, and I don't wanna lose your love tonight. I ain't got many friends left to talk to. No one's around when I'm in trouble. You know I'd do anything for you. Stay the night with you, keep it undercover. 'Cause I just wanna use your love tonight. Ooh, and I don't wanna lose your love tonight. Trying to stop my hands from shaking. Something in my mind's not making sense. Been a while since we've been all alone. Can't hide the way I'm feeling. As you leave, please close the door and forget what I told you. Just 'cause you're right don't mean I'm wrong. Another shoulder to cry on. I just wanna use your love tonight. Ooh, I don't wanna